I would not be uncomfortable if you wanted to sit here.
I can move here.
That's what I was saying.
Be far enough apart.
Sure.
So I've been told that I'm actually in charge. Why don't you come over here?
Okay.
We're going to live on the edge
Not
for just a
physical
little while,
distancing.
Ray.
Okay.
I do respect your concern. You're welcome. Oh, no, I just, oh, no.
Got to the adults table, Ray.
All right, it looks like we're at about 6:30, and on this miraculous evening, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk Canterbury, roll call, please.
Trustee Krueger?
Present.
Trustee Lang?
Here.
Trustee Kapantos? Present. Trustee Vito?
Here.
Trustee Vogel?
Here.
President Horker?
Here.
Trustee Rafato is absent with prior notice.
We're going to stick to the agenda as much as possible tonight, or we will absolutely stick to the agenda after I get done with some, just some public information and requests. Please keep your heads together, people. There's a lot of panic going on in stores. Stop hoarding toilet paper. Watch out for your neighbors. Just some basic common sense courtesies towards the community. Yesterday was the restaurant thing sent out. There was notice yesterday that as of the close of business today, all the restaurants are no longer going to be permitted to seat people. We have a lot of restaurants in town. They still will be offering carry-outs and drive-through as they can. Please do try to continue to patronize our restaurants as much as possible. The village is forwarding all of the notices from the CDC onto our website, correct? So we do want to be a source of information for everyone. We're not going to recreate the wheel by stating it just for our own vanity or for our own good. So please do go there. It'll be updated as soon as possible. Manager Sfondilis, do you have anything else that the public should know?
Just to reiterate some of the things that have already been posted on the website and to further some of the comments that President Horker made. Obviously, the health and well-being of our staff, our elected officials, our appointed officials, our business owners, our residents, for everyone involved, we have been forced into making some changes that will allow us to continue serving our community while still doing so in a safe manner. If you look at the village's website, you will see a number of informational pieces that we have put out to try and remind the public of the things that they can do, the village business items that they can do from home electronically. So we are encouraging that any business that you have with the Village of Wheeling that can be done electronically, please do so. Our buildings are still open. However, we are trying very hard to limit any unnecessary, non-emergency personnel from entering those buildings. For all intents and purposes, Public Works is closed to the public. The fire station, while still open and ready to serve, as far as people coming to it, have a protocol to measure who is actually entering the building. Again, all in an effort to make sure that the employees stay safe. So please look at the village's website. It is being updated continuously as all of this continues to change almost hourly. I think you will find everything that we've put up there to be helpful. One thing that isn't something that everybody else has put out, we're reminding people to please not flush anything other than toilet paper. There is a concern that while we don't really believe that there is a toilet paper crisis, should there be one, please don't create more of a problem by putting anything down into our sanitary system that could could cause it to back up. So just a reminder, all of the links to the CDC, anything at the federal level, the state level, are available on our website, and again, those will be updated continuously.
I attended a meeting with the staff Friday.
Friday.
There are no people calling in sick as of yet, right? In the event that they are, all of the departments have been, I know police and fire already have plans for staffing in the events of issues. So basically, Public Works is also working on a plan. So basically, the services that everyone is accustomed to will continue. It's
Yes.
not, yeah, there is a plan.
We are first responders. We have an obligation to the public.
Now back to our regularly scheduled meeting. You have before you the minutes of the meeting of March 2nd, 2020. I need a motion for their approval.
So moved. Second.
Motion trustee Papantos, second trustee Kruger. Roll call, please.
Trustee Kruger?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
President Horker?
Yes, are there any changes to the agenda?
There are no changes this evening.
Proclamations. Deputy Clerk Hannaberry.
Yep, let me just save here, hang on a second. Senior Celebration Day, March 24th, 2020, whereas education is a lifelong process, and whereas public education is a community enterprise and community education philosophy advocates full use of public facilities, programs, and services by every age group in the community, and whereas the skills, talents, and experiences of senior citizens are untapped resources in many communities, and intergenerational cooperation promotes efficient use of human resources, and whereas community education promotes the use of community resources, community volunteers in schools, senior citizen centers, and community agencies, and maximizes the use of human resources to provide educational opportunities for community residents of all ages. And whereas the goal of community education is to promote a sharing, caring, learning community, and whereas senior citizens have earned our respect and recognition for their past accomplishments and their present and future contributions, and whereas Senior Celebration Day is sponsored by Township High School District 214 Community Education to encourage and develop programs and activities to meet the needs of all residents in High School District 214 and the Village of Wheeling. Patrick Horker, President of the Village of Wheeling, does hereby proclaim March 24th, 2020 as the 32nd Annual Senior Celebration Day and calls upon the residents of Wheeling to recognize and celebrate the bonds they have discovered, the partnerships they have formed, and the sense of community they have strengthened through community education programs.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk, I'm sorry. We will get that to an appropriate senior representative when there's not so many of us around. Citizen concerns and comments. Deputy Clerk Hannaberry.
Members of the public may address the board with comments regarding issues relevant to village business. No citizen shall speak for more than 5 minutes without consent of the board. Members of the general public who wish to address the board must sign the request to speak form prior to the commencement of the public meeting. Deborah Wilson.
Just as a reminder, this is a time for citizens to make comments and express their concerns and for the board to listen. Neither the board nor the staff will be engaging in comments or answering questions. Please.
Congratulations on negotiating your police officer multi-year contract. The benefits and pay are useful tools in attracting and retaining the best candidates for to be police officers in the Village of Wheeling. I would like to add that there's a shortage in law enforcement across the nation. It's widely known that when the economy is very good, that less people are interested in going into law enforcement. I would encourage you to consider that excellence is another thing that will make an officer decide between one department or another, not just the contract, although the contract certainly is helpful. In 1981, I was in middle school, and a young lady that I had been playmates with since I was 5 was murdered, and the accused was a 14-year-old boy, and the police were unable to make the case because they violated so many of his civil rights, keeping him overnight, not letting him see his mom. So fast forward from 1981 to 2015, we had another young man, Jesus Sanchez, 19 years old, again accused of murder, kept overnight, not allowed to call his mom. The Illinois Rules of Civil Procedure say that everybody is entitled a reasonable amount of phone calls in order to contact one family member and one lawyer. So it saddens me that Wheeling has not learned from its history, not just that the mistake was made, but that the choices that were made by this village board to promote the officers that were a party to that. Conway became promoted. He was the arresting officer. And Oropeza, I'm reading in this contract, he's going to get $350 or $400 more a month for his recent promotion to become a corporal. So we're doing nothing to de-incentivize these civil rights violations. I think that if I'm an officer, I would like to, work for a place that I'm proud to work for. And excellence would be part of that when they have lots of choices of different places to go. And as a taxpayer, this lawsuit that he's got against us 5 years in prison for a crime that the evidence of the trial court, the appellate court justice said would have proved that it was impossible for him to have committed. So I'm very concerned that our village manager puts friendships in employment above public policy and the needs of the taxpayer and the public to build trust in their local police department. Sanchez is suing us. I'm sure it will cost us millions. And while we do have insurance, we're going to pay dearly for the premiums that will increase because the civil rights violations were so egregious. And I can't implore you enough to make the policies that you have with your employees something that would give the public more trust in their police department. I would encourage you to de-incentivize these types of civil rights violations. It just seems perverse that of all the officers you could have promoted, you chose the two that whose actions were part and parcel to this lawsuit and this young man losing 5 years of his life. So moving forward, I know you have liaisons with each department, and one of you is a liaison to the police department, but I really encourage you to, all of you, to look at the A8, the standard operating procedures and all of the referrals for discipline or that have been done under that, and look at the officers, see if their consequences have been consistent based on the type of offense. I was shocked that an officer who lost his rank as sergeant because he got into a fender bender, when in my opinion it's the policy of the police department to give the highest ranking guy, the guy with the most seniority, the overtime in the 911 center. So this guy more than doubled his income due to overtime, and I believe his car accident was due to fatigue.
You know how it
so
goes.
he lost his stripes, and these other guys that stole this young man's 5 years of his life have been promoted. And I think that's harming our capacity to retain law enforcement.
Thank you. Goodbye. Deputy Clerk, anyone else?
Nope.
Please.
Consent agenda, right?
Sorry?
Nobody else.
Oh, thank you. Staff reports. Mr. Spondilis.
Thank you. If you'll allow me, I'm going to read 2 items provided to me by our Social Service Director, Sherry Huisar, to read for the public. First topic, the census. The 2020 census is in full swing. Most households will by this time have received the invitation to participate in the mail. Please follow the instructions on the invitation and fill out the questionnaire. In light of the concerns around transmission of the COVID-19 virus, the Village of Wheeling will not be holding the much anticipated Mobile Census Assistance Center for the foreseeable future. In lieu of this, please go to the Village website and search for the Village Census page in the search bar. There you will find the link to the 2020 Census questionnaire. Language assistance is available in 12 different languages. Please make yourself count. The Village of Wheeling lunch program at the center congregate dining program has closed the public portion of the program. The Wheeling Park District, in an abundance of caution, has closed the Community Recreation Center for at least the next 2 weeks. In order to continue to provide nutritional meals for older adults, the village will be distributing meals ordered at 847-459-2626 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Each of these 3-day participants will receive a hot meal to be eaten at the time and a frozen meal to be eaten the next day. Should you have any questions, please feel free to contact the Human Services Department at 847-459-2606. Again, 847-459-2606.
Thank you, Mr. Spondelis. We could repeat that at the end, too. It's going to be, yeah.
Certainly.
Thank you. Consent agenda. Deputy Clerk?
All items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the village board and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a board member or citizen so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered after all other agenda items. 11A, resolution waiving competitive bids and authorizing the purchase of 6 Ricoh multifunction photocopiers from Ricoh USA at a cost not to exceed $44,040. 11B, resolution affirming an agreement between the Village of Wheeling and the Metropolitan Alliance of Police Wheeling Chapter for the period of May 1, 2019 through April 30th, 2023. 11C, resolution waiving competitive bidding and authorizing the Village of Wheeling to execute a contract with Comcast Cable Communications Management, LLC, relative to a dedicated high-speed data communications link to the City of Des Plaines and internet-related services in the amount of $32,472. 11D, resolution authorizing change order number 1 and final to reduce the construction contract with Builders Paving, LLC, for the 2019 motor fuel tax street improvement program from $2,045,000 to $1,755,902.14. 11E, resolution accepting a public bid and approving a contract in the amount of $438,741.36 with Dendler, Inc. for the high-density mineral bond HA5 asphalt treatment program. 11F, resolution approving the assignment of the fountain maintenance contract from Fountain Technologies Limited to Fountain Pros, LLC in the 3-year amount of $107,790.57. 11G, ordinance amending the Village of Wheeling annual budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2019 and ending December 31st, 2019. 11H, resolution waiving competitive bidding and accepting a proposal in the amount of $58,106 with the Metropolitan Pump for Dundee Road Lift Station improvements.
If there are no questions or comments, I would need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion, Trustee Vogel, second, Trustee Papantos. Roll call, please.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Krueger?
Yes.
President Horker?
Yes. New business, please.
13A, ordinance amending ordinance 5250 which amended ordinance 5034 and ordinance 5154, which granted special use site plan approval for indoor theater for Building J of the Wheeling Town Center Development, 351 West Dundee Road, docket number 2020-2.
Mr. D'Onofrio, you want to explain this?
Thank you, Mr. President. This matter before you is the petitioner is Landmark Group and CMX is seeking to amend the existing special use ordinance to install 3 pool tables and 2 shuffleboard tables in the restaurant dining area of the movie theater. As stated, these you can see on the on your screen. What's being proposed is to install these 3 tables, pool tables and shuffleboard tables. In order to do so, the number of 4 top tables, which was approved with the original plan, was reduced from 22 tables down to 6. This is a reduction of 16 tables or 64 seats. In addition to this reduction and the pool tables and shuffleboard table, the petitioner is proposing to add additional seating 3 two-top tables along one wall and an additional booth adjacent to the original 3 booths that were proposed on the other side of the dining room. All total, these will add 10 additional seats, thereby reducing the original capacity of the dining area from 100 seats to 46 seats. As mentioned in the intro, this special use ordinance has been amended several times. The Plan Commission considered the request at its February 26th meeting, and on a vote of 6 in favor and 1 absent, recommended approval of the amended special use with the condition that the updated occupancy count on the resident of the restaurant area, including the dining room, bar, and lounge areas, be revised and shown on the architectural ground floor plan. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Questions from the board? Trustee Papantos, thank you for coming. Mr. Shapiro?
Good evening, Dan Shapiro on behalf of CMX. Trustee Papantos.
Thank you, if you
Go ahead
want to
and come up
step
to
up.
the
We asked them to stay away from the mic so that they're not sharing, so.
Thank you. I don't know if this is for staff. Will the reduction in seats cause a change in the liquor license class?
No.
Because it's not over 75 anymore?
No, I think it's still going to be a restaurant license class. I don't think it's going to change. Has that been looked at? Dan, do you know if that's?
That hasn't been brought to my attention.
Yeah, I don't think, it's an A license, I believe, at this point.
It's not my understanding that it would. It's a great question, but I've not heard from anyone that it would.
And then keep in mind, this is unique too, that you're eating in the theater too. So I'm not sure how that would play.
So it changes the whole total
So-
seats?
Right, so it could go from an A to a B or an AB. We'd have to take a look, but I think it still fits under the original classification.
Thank you.
Given the unique setup there.
And I read that if they may change the games based on use, do you think they'll ever go back to just seating? Or will you always have?
I think that will be driven by the market, and my guess is if they do, we'd have to come back to you again. But it's right now kind of market driven. That's the best answer I can give you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Papantos. No other questions, left, right? Thank you, Mr. Shapiro. If there are no other questions, need a motion for approval?
So moved. Second.
Motion, Trustee Lang, second, Trustee Vogel. Roll call, please.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Krueger?
Yes.
President Horker?
Yes.
Thank you. And if I could just ask all of you to please stay safe in these weird times. And
So have they been-
You guys need to be separated over here.
Has Pritzker isolated CMX yet somehow to close them down, or?
There may be some talk about that.
So we shouldn't say that.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Deputy Clerk.
13B, discussion major site plan concept review, Richelieu Foods expansion, 120 East Palatine Road.
Mr. Svandilis?
Yes, thank you. Since this is a concept review, there's a typical process that we go through. I read into record some formal language just so that each one of these follows the same rules as the last. So I'll begin by reading in my comments, then turn it over to CD Director D'Onofrio to make his presentation. You will then have the floor, and ultimately we will be asking the Village Board the following question. Is the board in favor of the concept plan for the proposed Richelieu Foods expansion? The current request is for a non-binding approval of the proposed major site plan and appearance review. The feedback by the board will be used by the development team as a guide in preparation of the formal development plan. The outcome of this evening shall not constitute a formal approval or denial of the application. The decision by the board tonight is non-binding and shall not prevent the applicant from moving forward with a formal application. With that, Interim Director D'Onofrio, if you could present project overview.
Yes, thank you, Village Manager. The request is being made by Richelieu Foods to make two substantial additions to their property. Along the north side would be a 27,687 square foot addition on the site plan in front of you that's in pink. And that would be built along the north side of the building adjacent to Abbott Drive. And this would accommodate a new pizza topping line. The other significant improvement is on the southeast corner of the property, which would be a 38 space surface employee parking lot. Those are the major two. The other thing I would point out is part of the new addition on the north would be a truck dock, which could accommodate, I believe, there are three docks in there, accommodate 3 semis. That's my overview of the project. So I didn't answer any questions. The applicant is here this evening.
We have questions from crickets.
Just, I'll make a comment. I think it's a great idea that you guys are expanding, and I'm really excited that you are. Pizza capital of the world.
There you go. If there are no other questions, I suppose we should just hold, Trustee
Just
Kapantos.
one quick question. With this type of expansion, you are aware of safety factors as far as turning radiuses for our safety vehicles?
Yes, we'll take all that into consideration in terms of the design of the fire system and also the fire lane that we have today to make sure that not only the size of the vehicle, but the lane will also accommodate the weight required by the village vehicle.
Thank you, and thank you for expanding here.
Trustee Kruger.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a question about the new underground storm chamber system that shows on the top of the thing. Is that to accommodate the loss in green space?
Yes. Want me to stand up or
Yeah, if you don't just get a little bit closer to that mic, just so that our viewers at home can hear. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, the storm chambers are to make an accommodation for the loss of green space. So there would be a variance request as part of this expansion. The current property would take that green space down to about 18%, and the stormwater system was designed or will be designed to manage that runoff that would be required by the loss of that green space.
Appreciate you making that accommodation in a flood-ridden town. So
Yeah, you bet.
yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for expanding and staying here.
Thank you for helping us to expand.
You bet.
Any other questions or comments? What was the question again, Mr. Spondelis?
Is the board in favor of the concept plan? Okay. See, all those years of sitting up there, I forgot to push the button again. Is the board in favor of the concept plan for the proposed Richelieu Foods expansion?
Trustee Kruger?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
I am also in favor. Look forward to seeing it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the village, their willingness to work with us, and look forward to expanding here again.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Official communications. Moving right along. Deputy Clerk, you have something about the election?
Yes, hopefully people are watching. As of 4:45 this afternoon, Cook County posted a list of polling place changes for tomorrow's election. Wheeling precincts 3, 10, 23, 24, 35, and 82 have new locations. I believe, Trustee Papantos, you said that's mostly township, is that correct? Okay. Voters are strongly urged to check the Cook County website before heading out to vote. That's cookcountyclerk.com to get the most up-to-date information. Also, the Wheeling Historical Society White Elephant event scheduled for Wednesday, April 1st has been canceled. Additionally, the museum will be closed until further notice. If you have any questions, please call Village Clerk Elaine Simpson at 847-541-8692. That's all I have.
And Manager Spondelis, if you would again, the meal information.
Sure. Effectively, the Age Options program that provides the meals for our congregate dining program has been suspended for at least the next 2 weeks. In order to continue providing said meals, there is a call-in number for folks to order their meals. I will give that number momentarily. The provision of those meals will be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And each person will be given 2 meals, one to be ready to eat and one that is frozen for the next day. The phone number to call to order is 847-459-2626, 847-459-2626. And just so everyone knows, all of the people who have registered as a congregate diner have received this information via email. So hopefully this is not new news to anyone who frequents our program.
Excellent, thank you. And just again, just to repeat, take a moment and think before you get hysterical or scared or confused about what you, a friend of a relative of a neighbor's is saying they heard is going to happen. Check the village's website. We are keeping it up to date with current, relevant information. And just think, just take a moment and think. And even if you're sure that it's not you who's one of the at-risk, the main idea is to protect the at-risk by not becoming some typhoid Mary and carrying it through your family. So,
Hey.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Move us here.
Joe.
Wow, so bad analogy? Okay, I'll shut up now. Wow, didn't even think about that one.
Rough crowd.
Sorry, guys. We have before you the bills for February 27th through March 11th, 2020. I need a motion for their approval.
So moved.
Motion, Trustee Papantos.
Second.
Second, Trustee Mary Kruger. Thank you, Mary Papantos. Roll call, please.
Trustee Kruger?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Papantos?
Yes.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
President Horker?
Yes, there is no executive session tonight, so I need a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Give the motion to Trustee Vito, second to Trustee Kruger. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Adjourned. Thank you all for coming. Be safe.